Climbing out of the bottle, my alcoholic story, and how I succeeded in sobriety. What makes me unique is the fact that I've been in recovery for the past 4 years. I am an alcoholic trying to quietly climb out of the bottle. I am somebody like your neighbor, your local merchant, your child's coach, perhaps even your best friend. In fact, typical countless adults who, at midlife, try to put their destructive behavior and dependency behind him. I am just like that. I am one of them. Like many chronic alcoholics, I have never missed a day's work or a family function because of excessive drinking. Ironically, most of my friends and associates didn't even know that I had a problem. I was very high-functioning drunk. I was engaging a smile 24/7. Sure, I had blackouts, but I held a job and I paid my bills. I acknowledge that the road to recovery is difficult, but it's a path I have decided to take, and I speak openly at functions here on this show about my battle inside that battle. I come from a long line of raging alcoholics in my family. Although most of them won't admit to it, but I believe, and I truly believe, that any one person that has to have more than 1 or 2 drinks a day is an alcoholic. So I can safely and I can calmly say that I have had alcoholics in my immediate, not my immediate, but my extended family. That includes people I shall not name, but that includes people in my life. And one of the people that really never drank in front of me was my mother, but other people around me drank, and sometimes even wanted to know if I wanted to have some of it in my early not childhood, but my getting close to the teens. For me, there was a pre-genetic deposition to alcoholism, I believe. According to a medical reference archives in WebMed, an online health site, genetic factors are considered crucial in alcoholism, and the risk of becoming an alcoholic is 4 to 5 times greater if one of your parents or both were alcoholics. A relative once showed me a picture of my grandfather and said this particular grandfather had, let's say, 5 kids or 6. Out of those 5 or 6 kids, I could count how many that I've seen drink on a regular basis. And it kind of makes me laugh as growing up, who I looked up to these people and I wanted to be just like them. But sadly, alcoholism is a genetic disease, and you need to pay attention of the people around you that are directly related to you and their consumption. I am just not sure if I'm prepared to talk about the names of these people, because it's something that's very private and I need to keep that. But I will tell you that if you have a mother or father or both, grandparents, brothers or sisters, that excessively abuse alcohol and even drugs, be on alert for yourself. I have told my story courageously and unashamedly over and over on my show, on different TV appearances, because the transparency in my life could help you in your life. Alcohol was a readily accepted part of my childhood. I always understood that if you were an adult, you drank. But I had my first taste of alcohol between 6 and 8. And sure, I liked it because it made me sleepy, made me feel good. But then when I was in 8th grade, my friend and I used to take beer cans or beer bottles, whatever it might have been, at our refrigerator at my parents' house. And we each had maybe 2 or 3 beers, and we laughed our butts off so hard that we fell down and even laughed harder. And it felt like a great thing to have. I remember sitting on train tracks with my friends and just, in my early teens, and just getting drunk. In elementary school, yeah, I was considered maybe to be, like a nerd and all that, but when I started drinking alcohol, I felt bigger, I felt stronger, I felt more macho, and that's what substance abuse does to you. But when I started getting into high school, I was drinking on a regular basis, and I was perceived as cool, one of the gang members. You know, when I say gang man, one of the gang, not members, one of the gang. I fit right in because I was cool and I was smoking maybe a cigarette or two here and there and drinking on a regular basis. And I guess technically it was peer pressure that maybe drove me there besides genetics, but I saw no reason why to say no. So throughout high school, drinking was used to be a weekend thing and became a daily thing. And I thought I had it under control. But as soon as I went to college, I started focusing more and more on drinking and less on school. Higher education really didn't mean too much to me. My education was drinking and women. I was a hardcore partier, and I even experimented with some marijuana, which is a whole nother issue for recovery, but it's not currently in my recovery regimen because I really don't even like smoking. I never liked marijuana. I did it again to peer pressure. The thinking was, if you're willing to abuse one thing, then why not try, and I mean just try another thing. Not that I did it, but alcohol remained my primary drug of choice for the next, oh, I don't know, 40 years almost 40 years, about 35 years. As time passed, the tall part of me on the inside started feeling, well, I'm going down the wrong path in life. And in 2013, June 22nd, is when I was in that bottle, and instead of a noose being lowered to me, a ladder was lowered to me. And I climbed that ladder and climbed out of the bottle. And my days of denial stopped on June 22nd, 2013. Even though it was a tough battle, and the first 2 weeks were horrendous, I sit here before you humbly today, almost 4 years into my recovery, and I know my story helps people like you or people that you might know. I was, before 2013, drinking so much on a regular basis that I would have to drink something before and after work, and my social life didn't involve alcohol because I had to keep it a secret, so everybody really never, except for my wife, never really knew I was drinking. I always just liked the buzz. I didn't like the blackouts, and I didn't like the actual taste of it, but the buzzes made me feel good. For me, drinking was a happy thing. I was not a nasty drunk ever. Research indicates that the cause of alcoholism is a blend of genetic, physical, psychological, and environmental and social factors that are vary among individuals. I tried to rationalize my abusive behavior. When I say abusive, I'm talking about abusing the substance itself. For me, drinking was my solution. I hated life without drinking before 2013. I didn't want to be where I was in life. I wanted to be somewhere else. I had no motivation. I hated people around me. But as soon as I started drinking those drinks, everybody was great. I loved my life, but it was only a temporary thing until that buzz disappeared. When you're abusing, you're not looking at the big picture. You're not looking at it here and now. What you're looking at is what it could have been. But somewhere you cross a faint line in the sand. Are you allowing alcohol to be involved in your life? Because if you are, you need to change. I didn't have the pleasure of having somebody in front of a video camera and helping me change all this. So you might want to look into that and start changing of what's going on in your life. My life at the time also included putting others at risk by possibly driving while drinking. So these are all things that you need to watch out for. I would never drink and drive at the same time until maybe in college, but I would drink first and then drive, and that's a hazard. You're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting someone else. You know, when I got into college, I would nestle a bottle of beer between my legs and finish maybe 6 to 8 beers on a drive home from upstate New York to Long Island. And by the time I got home, I was nice and intoxicated. Although I never got to the point of blacking out behind a wheel. It could have happened. No matter what my mood was, sad, happy, or bored, one drink would make it all happy. So last year I turned 55, and children are all grown up. My job is secure. I'm a respected member, not only in my local community, but in my social community. And I've been an alcoholic most of my life. Then in 2013, I said to myself, okay, I got to stop drinking, and that's what I did. Reluctantly, I contacted a crisis helpline back then, knowing full well I was nowhere near recovery. A therapist, also a recovering alcoholic, suggested I attend AA meetings, which I did do, but I didn't find them effective. Eventually, the deception and the lifetime of denial overshadowed my resistance to change. Finally, I realized I was sick and tired of the way my life was. There was no joy in my life. I was a drunk and I was miserable. When I did attend a few of those AA meetings, to my amazement, it kind of jump-started my desire to do this show. And I recently just about marked my 3 and 3/4 year sobriety. Of course, like anyone else, I still have occasional cravings, but most of the time I am okay. The hardest part is that drinking is socially acceptable and publicly prominent. You can't walk around with a badge on your shirt that says, "Don't feed the animals." That through my own rehab, I can walk around because everybody that knows me and knows me on a personal or even professional level knows that I don't drink, so I don't need to wear a badge that says I don't drink. People don't even ask me anymore. I am, since sobriety, I've learned life skills that are helping me doing my show and that are very vital to my recovery. My methods describe itself as a fellowship of men and women that love to talk to each other, whether it being via texting, messaging, phone call, even my show, and we all have drinking problems. One of the things that my method has taught me is that alcoholism is a disease of different attitudes. Drinking is just the symptom. I am learning how to look at different things in different perspectives, almost like a diamond in different facets, and I think about situations and analyze them to make better judgment calls. I do this show several times a week, and I find that while life is not perfect, it is better than it was when I was drinking. I didn't think alcohol interfered with anything, but looking back, it interfered with my education, my emotional growth, and my social interactions. Through my sobriety, I've gained back a little self-respect and a sense of hope to make a better tomorrow, to make a better life, and to better inform you that alcoholism and drug addiction are both diseases, that you are not morally bankrupt because you have alcoholism or you're addicted to a drug. What you have is a disease, and the only way to conquer a disease like leukemia and cancer is with therapy, is with meds, and that's what you need to do. So why don't you start today? Make today your first new day to climb out of the bottle. Put a ladder down instead of a noose into that ladder. Put that ladder down and start climbing out. When you hit that edge of the bottle, just throw your body around and jump off that bottle. And I hope and I pray that you never will have to go back to that bottle. But just for the people that don't know me very well, I have tried it 3-4 times before 2013 and relapsed 3-4 times. So if you relapse, dust your knees, get up, and do it again. But together, you and I, we can help you climb out of your own bottle of alcoholism and drug addiction and start a new life and take your life back. And may God bless you.